Today, on the 22nd of February, it's been announced that theme parks, along with zoos and a lot of other things, are going to reopen, if all goes to plan, on the 12th of April. Which is fantastic news, of course, and this is what that video is about. And I'm also going to be discussing what we can expect from the park in terms of operations and safety measures and stuff like that. Basically going over what happened last year, with, you know, whether any of that will change, or, you know, which of that will change and things like that. Just what we can expect out of our theme park visits in at least early 2021, and who knows how long it's going to go on for, but I think, let's be honest, we can expect these measures to still be in place until the end of the season, and I just think that's the best thing to do anyway, to be honest. So, if you go to a theme park in the UK during 2021 from the 12th of April, hopefully, if all goes to plan, what do you expect? What should you expect? What rules do you have to follow? How do you stay safe? So, obviously I'm basing this off last year and then kind of predicting what things will be like based on last year and based on safety, and if anything will change, as I just said. So, obviously the obvious one is social distancing in queue lines and things like that. Obviously in queue lines, the parks had either chevrons down, like yellow markers, or they had dots on the floor, or they had stickers saying please stand behind the yellow line. Basically asking people to stand on those, and there'll be a 2 metre gap or 1 metre, or maybe even more if we're talking about the Smiler queue line, between those dots and markers and things like that. So that basically keeps everyone apart, and I actually enjoyed that. I love social distancing in queue lines to stay, to be honest. As silly as it might sound, it's just nice to have that bit of space, and obviously when you kind of want to wait for the train to come round on a roller coaster, you have a reason to stop and not move up as soon as the queue moves when you're social distancing. So I actually wouldn't mind social distancing still. I know it wouldn't, and obviously it probably is best if it didn't when things turn to complete normal, if it ever will. So yeah, social distancing is an obvious thing that we're going to have to expect in this year, and hopefully not into next year, but that's way too far into the future to go and discuss that now. But when we visit parks in April, we'll be social distancing in queue line. We'll be asked to stand on these markers or dots or stickers, and yeah, make sure you follow those rules. Please stand behind the yellow line. So another obvious safety measure that these theme parks will be putting in place is wearing face masks on the rides, on the major roller coasters, just to stop the spread of things, obviously. You know, an obvious safety measure. Not every theme park that I visited last year had this measure in place. I don't know whether later on in the year, obviously things got a lot more restricted after I visited these places, but Pleasurewood Hills and Great Yarmouth, the two theme parks in Great Yarmouth, didn't actually have masks mandatory on their rides when we visited in August. So I'm not sure whether that changed in September when it pretty much became the law to wear them in shops and things like that. But yeah, that's interesting. So I'm not sure whether that'll be a rule in Pleasurewood Hills and Great Yarmouth. I'm not 100% sure, but realistically it should be, to be honest. And but yeah, for the rest of the theme parks, the major parks like Alton Towers, Blackpool, Pleasure Beach, all that, Thorpe Park, the rest of the Merlins, they will ask you to wear face masks on the ride unless you have a reason not to. If you have a reason not to, I think you go to guest services that morning and you get a little exemption card that you basically show to the ride operator when you're on the ride, and if they ask why you're not wearing a mask. But if not, then yeah, you'll have to wear a mask. It's all for safety purposes. Masks are available, I know, at the Merlin parks and Blackpool, Pleasure Beach, they're available in the shops, and obviously you can get those surgical ones as well. So yeah, masks will be permitted on rides throughout 2020 and 21, sorry, and who knows about 2022, but we'll see. It's unpredictable, isn't it? So another thing that we can expect from the theme parks in terms of safety measures is, of course, leaving gaps between rows, and this is quite an interesting one that for me to discuss, and I'm going to talk about Blackpool Pleasure Beach as a main example of this. So when the park reopened on the 4th of July, I think pretty much every single ride had ran with every other row. Apart from Icon, probably. I think Icon has enough space between the seats, so I don't think they had to leave any rows. But I know the big one left rows and all of the wooden roller coasters left rows. But in around, I think it was mid-August, the big one actually started running full trains again, which I thought was a little bit weird because there isn't that much room if you sat on the back of a big one carriage between you and the person in front of you, which was interesting, but fair enough. Like, masks were mandatory at the time, and you know, the whole social distancing thing wasn't a full 2 meters. It was a lot less relaxed. It was a lot more relaxed back then. But yeah, what was interesting was, obviously, they were running full trains on the big one, but they never ran full trains on the wooden roller coasters. And I'm pretty sure that there's more of a gap between people on the wooden roller coasters, take Big Dipper for example, than there is on the big one. But they still ran every other row with empty rows between each rider, which was bad because my favourite seat on the Big Dipper train hasn't been operating because of it. So I'm not really sure what things are going to be like in terms of what rides are going to run with empty rows in April. They'll probably, with it being the start of a new season again, and you know, obviously lockdown rules only just being relaxed again, I can assume that they'll probably start running with empty rows on the big one as well. But no, I just find it a bit weird. I found it a bit weird last year how obviously, yeah, you couldn't go on a non-wheel seat on Grand National, but that's smooth anyway. So, and yeah, you couldn't sit in a lot of the seats on Big Dipper and Nick Streak either, which was weird because yeah, I was expecting them to start running full trains as soon as the big ones started doing. But when the park reopens, I'm pretty sure that they'll end up running empty rows. I know another example, Colossus at Thorpe Park. I don't think they ran full trains, but I'm pretty sure rides like Stealth and Rita Alton Towers did, and obviously rides that have 4 in a row, like Saw the Ride, Oblivion has 8, and the Smiler. Obviously, if you're on your own, you get a full row to yourself. You know, you won't be sitting next to anyone from another group. And theme parks don't really have too much to do about this rule, but I'm pretty sure the rule of 6 is staying, so I don't think you're allowed to meet up in groups of 6 at the parks. And if you do, I think I remember when I went to Thorpe Park last year, the rule of 6 thing was still in place, and they were basically saying stand on these markers, and if you're in a group of more than 6, please use more than 1 marker, use 2 markers between you. So obviously that could be because obviously when 6 people standing behind 1 marker does kind of take you back to the marker behind you, but obviously it just spreads people out a bit. And apart from that, I'm not really sure what the parks can put in place for that, but yeah, the rule of 6 is staying, and that's all I have to say. So of course, hygiene and cleaning safety measures will be put in place at the theme parks. I can only assume that the rides will continue to have a deep clean every hour, and there'll be hand sanitizer all over the park. like there was last year. I don't think anything will have changed from last year with that, to be honest. And to be honest, for the hand sanitizers, like, I would like to see them stay when this whole thing isn't as much of an issue, to be honest, because, you know, there's more reasons to keep your hands clean than what's been going on in the world, isn't there? So I would like to see, maybe not as much, maybe they should remove a couple, but it would be nice to have some availability of hand sanitizer. I mean, it wouldn't affect me that much because I always take my own, but yeah, it would be nice if hand sanitizer was offered even in more normal times. But no, cleaning measures will be put in place. They'll be cleaning the rides and they'll have hand sanitizer all over the place. Think, of course, it will be mandatory that you book your theme park visit online when you're visiting, because they'll be capping the capacity probably, and who knows how long that'll last for. Of course, it'll probably last for all of this season, and it's usually cheaper to book online anyway, like in normal times. So yeah, if you are planning on visiting a theme park, especially if it's far away from you, don't travel unless you've booked, because obviously you don't want to be turned away after travelling 2 hours, hoping travelling's allowed. But yeah, booking online will be required if you want to visit a theme park this year. So I've probably forgot something, but that's the main things we have to expect really when you're visiting theme parks in 2021. All the safety measures, things that keep the parks as safe as possible. I think the theme parks did a really good job last year with the whole situation. They did everything they could, and obviously there were issues with people not following them, but that's the public. So that's all we have. That's all I have to talk about in this video. I've probably forgot something. Let me know if I have in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, if you found out something that you didn't know about theme parks, leave a like on the video, that would be appreciated. And if all goes to plan, the theme parks will be reopening on the 12th of April. I have only been to a theme park once this year, and you can check out the vlog in the card if you want. It's not actually a theme park vlog, but yeah, you'll understand if you watch it. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and where are you heading on the 12th of April, or soon after, if anywhere? Yeah, be sure to let me know. So thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe, and of course look forward to theme parks reopening. Stay safe and goodbye.